Welcome back to another one. I hear a crazy echo coming from you.
Nothing changed. Everything's the same.
I don't know. Okay, now it's gone. Whatever setting you got on that thing is just, I don't know. It does something crazy to your mic. Like, what is that? The noise gate? I think we were talking about that one time before.
Noise gets good.
But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everybody is enjoying the new year, which is freaking flying right by us.
Yeah, Q1 is done, no?
Almost. Not
Well, I
yet.
mean, almost, yeah.
It's nuts. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. So I hope everyone's doing good. I don't know why I know I got the thing open back here, but man, I look like I'm bright. No lights in my room are on either.
You
Um,
got the sunshine shining on you.
yeah, I'm like, what the hell? It's super windy out there right now. Um, wanted to, well, before we begin the episode, of course, make sure you guys check the description below. Get yourself a VPN. Make sure you guys protect yourself. We keep saying this, and some of you guys don't listen. Some of you guys do, but get something. If you don't have it, get something. That's what I got.
Make sure you check out buzztvglobal.com in the description below. Buzztvglobal.com has a lot of different devices, and they are constantly upgrading their software. Like I said in one of our previous episodes, I've been talking with the development team to make a couple tweaks that I think make sense in their software as well. So they hopefully will get a chance to working that into the software, and I think that it'd be pretty beneficial as well. They have a wide variety of products and even more products that are coming out very soon. So make sure you check them out.
Buzz TV.
Buzz TV.
Okay. Crypto scams are increasing big time. Wanted to start the segment with this one. Crypto scrams. Oh, hello, pre. Here we go again. What was that word that we got stuck on last time?
Who knows? There's always a word.
Play plus or
Play
plus
plus.
play plus
Plus. They called
plus
it plus play.
play plus. I think it was called play plus, and we're calling it plus play because play plus was like pray press.
I don't know. I don't even want to know. I don't want to
Or
start tripping up my brain
press
again.
play. I don't know. Now my brain's hurting again. But wanted to open it up with crypto scams. Crypto scams are increasing big time. And I know we've talked about a couple things. You pretty much summed it up. One of our episodes, you said if it's too good to be true, then it's too good to be true. But I want to get into the nitty gritty of it. Like, what does it look like? How to spot them?
Didn't we talk about what was that thing? The Pixelmon?
Pixelmon, yeah. We talked about that recently on our What the Hell episode, so make sure you guys do check out that episode for this month. But I'm going to share a story, and I think I've shared it before, but want to be sure I share it again in the beginning of an episode, so that way you guys can get your info. I was on Instagram. I have a friend that posts and says, hey, I can get you a lot of money with crypto. You got to invest. Here's the thing. I know this guy personally. I've shot guns with him. I've drank beer with this guy. Like,
Is that how most Americans start their stories? We were really cool. We shoot guns together.
we shoot guns and drink. America. But like
Freedom.
I personally know this guy, and his circle of friends, it's part of his circle of friends is part of my circle of friends. So I know them, and I've known them for maybe a decade now. So actually, yeah, it's been a decade now. Down. So I see his post saying like, "Hey guys, I turned $200 into $4,000, and $4,000 is not guaranteed, but I can get you a good amount of money." I'm just like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "Dude, that's pretty cool." I'm like, "What are you doing?" "I'm doing crypto, dude. That's where it's at." I'm like, "Dude, I've been telling you guys, that's been where it's at for the last freaking 5 years, man. Are you kidding me? And he's just like, I know, man, I should have listened to you, blah, blah. And he's like, I have this system now that I found out with with a buddy of mine that could flip your money. So I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like, good for you, dude. He's like, dude, you want in? You want in? I was like, no, I'm cool. First couple of times I just said, no, I'm good. I'm good. And I kept seeing his videos over and over and over. And I kept seeing like stacks of cash. And he even posted a video saying like, hey guys, if you guys want to earn some money, this is how to do it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, cool. And I was like, dude. So I said, screw it. Let me hit him up. He says, hey, send me $200. I can flip it for you right now. Cool. Sends him $200. Ended up being a scam. What happened was all of that stuff that was before, his Instagram account got hacked. And what they told him before they hacked his account, they said, hey, this other person that he thought that he knew, same thing, said, hey, send us a video saying like I can make you money with crypto. And what we're doing is we're sponsoring people. We're going to send money that if you send us these videos, we're going to send you a thing. Cool. He sent him the video through Instagram. They said, hey, we cannot download it. Is there any way you could upload it to this link? Okay. They send him a link. He clicks on it. And next thing you know, his Instagram got hacked. This link that they told him was an uploader link for him to upload a video was a thing to mask and record his Instagram. They grabbed his passwords. They grabbed his activity, his bank statements. Like they grabbed everything off of this one link. They're able to grab everything off of his phone. So he got booted off his Instagram account. They took over. They used his videos that they sent to him and they posted it on his Instagram, on his feeds, on everything. And the way I found out was, he said, send me $200. I sent him the $200. And then he says, oh, you have to pay a fee. There's a holding fee through Cash App. It's like $1,000. You got to send $1,000. And I'm just like, okay, this is a scam for sure, bro. I'm like, there's no holding fees with. I'm like, I use Cash App on the daily. There's no holding fee. If you send money like cash on hand. It's not. There's no such thing as a holding fee. That's bullshit. So he's just like, sorry, dude. I'm not in charge of these institutes. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. I was like, hey, bro, no worries. I'll send Eric and Dorian over to your house right now in a minute. Just give him about 5 minutes. And then he freaked out real quick. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, dude, we've been friends for a long time, dude. Like, are you really gonna F with my money? Don't worry, dude. Dorian will be there right now, dude. I already called him up. He's already on his way. He's like, bro, what do you mean? Like, I'm not trying to get some issues here. Send me my money back. I'll make this super simple for you. I could either track your ass or someone's going to be knocking on your door right now. So I think I told you that the money that I did send to didn't match his name.
Yes.
It was a different person. And I ended up getting that person's Zelle shut down and I ended up getting my money back. I ended up getting that Instagram account shut down also. Like, I ended up getting this fool shut down big time. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, what the hell's your problem? I ended up texting my friend too, saying like, hey, dude, did you get hacked on Instagram? He's like, yeah, man, if they say anything about crypto, don't do it. I was like, damn it. Why didn't I just call you to begin with? He's like, you got hacked? I was like, don't worry, dude. His account's shut down. He's like, for real? He's like, hell yeah. So the first thing I would recommend based off of my story, and I should have known better, but I was just like, dude, this is somebody that I know, and he's talking to me like I know him, like this is my buddy. The first red flag that I saw it and I didn't think about it, which was stupid of my part, was my friend's name is Bob. The Zelle account that I sent it to, the name was Anthony. I know when you see a video, the first thing you say next level is if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. But if it's a friend, sometimes it's kind of like, yeah, but this is a friend of mine. So if you go past that part where you see a video that seems like it's too good to be true from a friend, my first indicator should have been I'm zelling this thing, because before you actually zell it to somebody, it tells you the person's name. And what's even more interesting too, which I didn't think twice about it, I was thinking like, oh, I'm like, maybe Anthony's his middle name or something, you know? The phone number was an area code that's here. And I should have verified it. Here's flag number 2. I should have verified the number that he gave me to the number that I have for him and actually called it. So for me, when for anybody out there listening and trying to spot these issues like this, when somebody says send me $100, $100 to some people are just like, yeah, whatever, it's $100. Like oh cool, I get like $500 back, dude, that's awesome. Or $1,000 back, that's cool. Here's $100, dude, no big deal. Yeah, make sure before you send it. Like Cash App is a little bit trickier, but even when you send Cash App, it says the name of the person. So that should be your first indicator. When you send it, it'll have the name of the person, sometimes a picture of them.
I don't know, man. When people just say, hey, you want to make a lot of money? That's my first red flag. Because I'm like, what do you need me to make a lot of money for? Yeah, maybe that's a little bit heartless to think that there's not a lot of people that just want to go around handing out wads of cash to everybody. But you got to question things like, I don't know. I'm just like, why would you give that to me? Why wouldn't you keep that for yourself? Like, why do you need my 200 to do this, to do that? Like, why can't you just do it for yourself? Oh, you want to do it for me? Why don't you just show me the steps and I'll do it myself? That's just kind of how I am. Like, I'm like, you want to do what with my money? I don't know. That's just me, though.
But the thing is that you've met people that have told you, hey, can I send you money and you do this for me?
They're paying for a service of some sort.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like if somebody says, here, could I send you some money? I want to blah, 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 and this and that, and la, la, la. And it's just like, oh, you could have been that other guy on the other line. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, for you take the initiative. Like same thing with me. Like I'm like, oh, crypto. I already know a lot about like how to do investments on it. I have the apps on how to do it, but there's always ways of doing stuff that I'm not familiar with. I'm not an expert. I'm not a pro. I don't know every single which way possible.
Every day there's new ways to do shit when it comes to crypto. Nobody's a pro.
Right. So that's why it's like, okay, if you have this thing and it's just like, hey, dude, like I could actually help you out too. What if Preppy says, hey, she sends you a video on your text message and says, hey, I need you to send me $100 right now. I just found this thing on freaking Coinbase or whatever, and it's pretty cool.
I'd be calling her.
Like,
I'd be calling because I'm like, where are you and what are you doing?
Where are you?
Honestly, though, I'm like, because she checks with me with anything that would have to do with stocks and crypto. And we talk about finances a lot. Like the last week, we've been talking about finances like every day. And like talking about like investments and, you know, ideas that we have for the house and things like that. So for something just to fly at a spur of a moment through a text message and be executed, it would be like, okay, something's up. Because we talk on the phone all the time and we're always like, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Like we don't usually execute something Or she doesn't usually execute. She would never execute something without talking to me on the phone first.
Well, that's
It
what I'm
was
saying. What if you just got talking on the phone, you hang up, and then she shoots you a text message and says, "Hey, you know what? I'm actually short $100. Can you send me this $100 so that way I could throw it in here?" You just got off the phone.
if it's a place I don't know, then I'd be calling her right back. Like, because she doesn't have very many places she accepts money. So I'm like,
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're zoning it to very specific things though. You're overthinking it. If you just talk to if you just talk to okay, you just talked to her and she said um send it to my Genesis wallet or whatever wallet that you guys have in common or whatever wallet that you know that she has. If you just hung up the phone and she says send me $100 through your text message, you're gonna tell me, you're gonna be like, wait, I just talked to you, now I'm suspicious. I'm gonna call you real quick
well, yeah,
after
because
you
I would
guys
really
talk about it.
want to know what's going on, because she's like, we don't usually ask each other for money like that without having a conversation. So I would be like,
That's why,
'cause
okay, you're overthinking it. You
I'm
already had the damn conversation. You're trying to solve an issue that you think you already have because it's based on the conversation, but you're not thinking about prior to that.
no,
She
no,
calls you,
no,
you're
not
on the
happening.
phone with her,
It's not happening.
and you guys are talking about your finances, your daily finance conversation or whatever. And she's like, yeah, you know what? I'm interested in throwing some extra in Solana or whatever. I don't know, whatever it is that you guys talk about with your finances. And you're saying, like, oh, no, you know what? That's probably not a good idea. You should probably do it in this other one. And she's like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll do that. I'll throw in like $500 or something in there, or $100 or $20 or whatever it is. You hang up the phone. She texts you like a minute later. You're telling me that you've never sent her money if she asks you for money?
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like crypto like that, because she would it would only be like through an email transfer and
She's
to a
not
very specific address.
she's not asking you for crypto. She's just saying, like, can you just send me 100 Canadians?
100 Canadians.
You know what I'm saying? If you just got off the phone with her and you guys had this financial conversation and then she messaged you and says, "Hey, can you send me some money? I'm gonna put some money on the side for whatever." And you just hung up the phone with her. You're gonna tell me you're gonna be suspicious automatically if she says, "I need it to here."
If it's not a common address that I'm sending it to, then yes.
Okay, that's your red flag then. That means you're getting her information and you're like, okay, cool, go ahead and send it to me. So your indicator at that point is the same thing as mine. If it's that address, then I'm just like for me, I'm just like, what who's this name? Like, who's Anthony? I'm sending it to Bob. If you're sending it to her and you're just like, wait a minute, this is not a typical address that I would send it to, that'll be your indicator. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. If the conversation seems legit, but the address is wrong, then no. I'm
Then you
not.
probably call her back.
I for sure, 100%. I'd be like, "What's up? Something's wrong."
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the next question. If it's not preppy,
Yeah.
and you and me get a bunch of emails all the time,
Yeah.
what is your indicator? What is your indicator when you see? I know we talked about the freaking spooky mon or whatever the hell that is.
Yeah. Pixelmon.
Yeah.
Email indicators for me is if they're emailing me, that's an indicator. Because anyone who knows me knows I don't F with emails. I don't F with emails. The second indicator is the email address. It's so common to see email addresses that are not even from the domain that they're talking about. So common. And then a next indicator is like, okay, those two things are like my biggest flags, because if anybody knows me, they would have to know me to ask me for money. That's the biggest thing. But if anybody knows me, they know email is not the way to get a hold of me. That's it. Like it stops right there for me. You know that's true. If somebody
Mhm.
emails me, I tell them don't ever email me. I don't respond to emails. I don't. I hate emails. It
Okay.
makes me feel like I'm 60 and I don't want to do it.
60. You're like, send me smoke signals. Okay, so scratch the emails. What about Telegram? Somebody messages you on Telegram and says, hey, honey.
Oh my god, that's a red flag right there. I'm like, I don't know you. Get out of here. Block you right there if you start like that.
So somebody sends you a message on Telegram, says, hey, I see that you have next levels gains and
Yeah. Okay.
gains, and I'm really interested to learn from you. Can I
Uh huh.
send you a dono?
Okay. They want to send me money. Okay, they can send me money. Let's go.
Let's go. No
I'll take.
flags at all.
Hey, they can send me money, but they're not getting my private keys. They're not going to get any information like that. All like if they're getting just a way to send money, not a way to like get into my accounts. Hell no.
Here's this link.
Yeah, no, 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 no. No. If you're sending me money, I'm providing you the method of transaction. You're not providing me with shit. Get out of here.
Get out
Hell
of
no.
here.
You make me break this table right now.
You're flipping it.
Hell no. I ain't clicking on no links.
Okay, so don't click on any links.
Get out of here.
Um, what if it's a sponsorship? Like, I know I've been getting a lot of these Alakazams and Alakadabra or whatever the hell. Like, we have this new NFT and blah blah blah. And my first question is always like, are you guys minted? Where can I find you guys? I need some info. Even regardless of the email, because sometimes I do find out that some of these emails are ended with .cz. I think that's China.
Yeah,
And
a lot
I'm
of
just
them.
like, I need your info. Like, where? Don't give me links. What is it called? Where is it at? Where can I find it? And that's what I do when I ask them for the info so that I can do my research on it. The problem with I know with us content creators, and sometimes it's harder for it's we could find this stuff a lot easier versus like other people who aren't content creators are just like opening up some random email that says, hey, your Norton thing is expired, and it's just like, I've never had Norton in my life. Why
Right?
am I yeah. So, or Amazon, it's crazy. Or PayPal's the other one. With us, we get these advertisements. Like, I get tons
All
of
the time.
emails. Oh, and you and me had this conversation. Remember, I was telling you that I was looking for that app, that voicemail app.
Yeah,
So as soon as I plugged in my thing, that voicemail app popped
because
up.
that's a provider application.
Yeah. And I know you in digital slang were like, dude, I've never used this shit in years. I'm like, you know what? I could give a shit if you've been using it for years. I just want to know if it's
But,
available or not.
but the first thing we told you was to put the damn SIM card in.
Yeah. And I didn't do it yet because I was making sure everything's going to be good before I sent it back or kept it.
And then when you put the SIM card in, what happened? You got the app you wanted.
But that's the thing. You have your SIM card in. He has his SIM card in. And
Yeah,
it's just like,
but
it's like literally, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. I'm like, hey, you just had a bite of freaking Norton's whatever they sell. You just ate something from Norton. Norton here's a who.
Tim Hortons? You talking about Tim Hortons?
Yes. So
You
you
talking
had
about
see, okay, so you got your donuts and you had a bite of it. And I'm asking you like, hey, how does that one taste like? And then you tell me, well, if you get on
no.
a
The
plane
question that
and
you
if you
asked,
go over to
no,
Ontario,
hold on, hold the phone. The question that you asked is, does this phone have voicemail? The phone doesn't dictate a service provided by your provider.
I'm just asking, when you plug in your SIM card, did it have that app or not?
You didn't ask about an app. You just said, does it have voicemail?
The voicemail is an app.
It's never mind.
It's an app, but that's yes, it's dedicated on the SIM card. I get that part, but I could also delete it. I could also uninstall it, and then I could also reinstall it. And that's why I was asking. I was like, hey, is it there? What do you have? And both of you guys were just like, why would you need this? I'm like, why do you care? I just want to know if it's there or not. Damn it. Is it there or is it not there? And yeah, so I had to finally plug in my SIM card to figure it out. But what I'm trying to say is I get a lot of voicemails. I get a lot of phone calls from companies or text messages for the exact same thing. And have you gotten those text messages that says, here's a coupon for whatever, Tim Hortons, you get buy one, get one free with this link here. Have you ever gotten any of those type of emails or text messages?
Maybe, but I still don't click on them because I have, for anything that I'm interested in, I have the legitimate app on my phone. So if I'm like, if and most companies are really good these days that if they're going to give you an offer, it's done through the application.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually where I go, and I don't care what people text me because, like emails, I tell people too. If you text me, you're not going to get a response.
What about companies like Turtle Beach? They're not gonna go to Telegram to find you.
So Turtle Beach would be a company that I already have communication dictated through in an email. Like I'm expecting that, so I look forward to it. You know what I mean? But if I'm not expecting some,
not at first.
at first I was because we had the podcast with them and we talked to them on the
We have a
podcast.
podcast, right? But I'm saying we opened up that avenue. But
Yes.
if Turtle Beach came to you and you got some random email from Turtle Beach at whatever .cz,
So I would be super reluctant. I wouldn't even touch it. Like I have companies that email me and they're like, "Yeah, we'll pay you $1,500 for a sponsored review," and I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." Like I honestly, because okay, I'm a little bit different because my channel doesn't get a lot of views and I don't produce a lot of videos anymore because all the shit that I've been going through with YouTube. So immediately I asked myself, I'm like, why would a company be willing to pay me if they're not going to get a lot of traction? So in my mind, I'm like, as a business, I wouldn't pay this person. So why would they be willing to pay me? And it's sketchy at that point for me. That's just me though. I don't usually deal with sponsorships and companies, and I don't do product reviews. Usually anything that I deal with on my channel is something that I purchased myself. That's usually how it goes just for me. That's just me though.
yeah. Well, it's because you've never opened up that door, so it's harder.
It's
for
scary.
You to like,
It's scary to go through the door, you know?
yeah. You're like, here's free money. You're like, no.
No.
Yeah. So that's how we spot them. Next level is a little special when it comes to the the emails and text messages. Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
So that's how to spot them. If it's too good to be true, or if it's somebody that you might know, then have them, just say no. The other thing is, I had another friend that recently was like, hey, so same thing with the crypto. And I actually said, hey, send me a video through Messenger. Send me a video saying, hi, Steve, I could get you money through crypto. Say that. What's today's date? Hey, Steve.
And a spoon on your head.
Today's, put your nose on your finger or put your...
Wow. Pull it off your face and put it on your finger.
Say, give me today's date. Say like, hey, Rohas, it's March, whatever, 2022. Hope you're doing well. I could help you get money with. I'm like, give me an actual sentence that makes sense. Sometimes I'll even type it out. Say, hey, say this, and they're like, okay, nothing. I'm like, hey, so where'd you send it? Where'd you send the video? You said okay, you didn't send it.
Send it full send.
So. Yeah, I would, and if somebody has a problem doing that, then, don't do it. If you fall for it, just don't do it. And there's more scams than just the crypto. There's people trying to sell freaking eyelashes or makeup or weight loss pills or coupon books or doggy treats or whatever the hell it is that you're searching for. There's always going to be somebody out there that has some kind of coupon code for something, and they're going to say, "Hey, this is great for you." And of course, I don't mind if I help somebody out get a commission. I tell people, like, Dabs was hooked me up with the getting some accessories for the Oculus. I'm like, dude, send me your links. Like, I like, you did some of this research. Like, it's a small kickback for them. I don't care. It doesn't cost me extra. So yeah, those are the things. Okay, next topic. That was a long one. Digital currency crackdown, pushing companies that are doing it right to the front of the market. Ready for this? This is coming from wealthymillionaire.com. Enforcement is coming. Oh man. So it says Wall Street echoed these thoughts, saying a digital currency crackdown awaits. Just last month, Bloomberg reported that crypto lender BlockFi was ordered to pay $100 million to settle allegations from the SEC and state regulators that is illegally offered a product that pays higher interest to customers who lend out digital tokens. Have you heard anything of this yet?
A fee?
Interest.
If they're offering interest on digital tokens, then they can get slammed because that's classified as a security, no?
Say that one more time.
So the companies are offering their people interest on the cryptos that they have? Is that what's going on? Mm-hmm. So then it's considered now a security. So they can get fined under the SEC. Yeah. So that's a big thing. That's why most of the companies that have the ease of use of like transferring to and from your bank account and that are from your country do not offer staking, because staking in most cases is considered a security product. Mm-hmm. So yes, I know that this is very difficult for companies to do, and all of the companies in Canada have chosen not to offer staking. So usually for myself, if I want staking, I got to go to a platform like Exodus or something like that, and that's how I do my staking.
Well, I got through Coinbase, I get to stake my coins, a couple of them.
I don't know how that works in the States. I just know in Canada, it's very cut and dry. They don't touch it.
I wonder why. More hoops, I guess.
I don't know.
So they're trying to do this thing and they're calling it doing it the right way. So this movement is putting focus on which exchanges are, and they're quoting it, doing it the right way, and which ones are not, which is also creating a unique investment opportunity for in the know investors. So if you know, this will be a really big opportunity to do it, but that's only if they're doing it the right way.
I have somebody that can explain that. My cousin actually got headhunted, and she works for a crypto platform, but her job is to deal with the government regulators. Huh. So that's what she does full time. She deals with government regulators to get kind of, well, she's the compliance officer or something like that. So she deals with keeping her crypto exchange compliant to the government regulations. Mm-hmm. Interesting job.
Yeah, it is interesting. So this is what has happened already since the regulation is starting to pick up some steam now. Check this out. Binance was forced to announce that it will no longer offer digital versions of stocks like Tesla, Apple, and Coinbase due to these pressure regulators. Second, you gotta read that again. You look confused.
Binance was offering stocks?
Apparently.
When the hell was this?
Apparently. Apparently.
That's why. Not that I don't understand. I'm just confused. I never heard of that.
They were probably doing something small, like almost like Robinhood. Robinhood's got stocks, but they have a very few cryptos. Binance was probably just doing it backwards. You know, um, here's number two. 11 class action lawsuits were filed against digital currency companies like, here we go, Binance again, BitMEX, Tron Foundation, and a lot of other ones. The suits allege the company sold
This,
unregistered securities. Here's number three. Digital currencies exchange Poloniex. Have you heard of that one?
no.
Poloniex agreed to pay 10.4 million to settle US SEC charges. Here's one I know you're familiar with. XRP digital currency saw its value decrease by over 63% when the SEC announced a suit against parent company Ripple,
Ripple.
which we did have a conversation about that not that long ago.
That's right. That's right. That's right. There's a lot of issues going on with the SEC. There's some arguments like, you know, if Ethereum can do it, why can't Ripple do it, and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are upset about Tron and they're holding forever, and not Tron, I mean XRP. I'm kind of like, yo, if I get 30% on something, I'm good. I'm happy. I'm out. Like, I'm not trying to sit there and try to figure out if this is a rug pull or if the government's going to shut them down. Like, give me my 30% and I'm out.
So here's the ugly truth. As these digital currencies markets were growing big time, a lot of companies wanted to jump in to get their fair share, which I don't know how you would use the word fair share. Keep your noses in your coffee and get out of here. Well, they were a little too eager and they didn't go through the proper channels, and now they are paying some hefty, like the trash bag, hefty fines.
I think that a lot of these crypto companies got way too ahead of themselves, thinking that they could create a whole new financial system that would never have to touch fiat ever again. We're not ready for that yet. Like, you still need to interact with fiat currency if you're dealing in crypto. Like, you can't, for the most case, there are very, very select cases where you can pay your taxes with crypto. I've seen certain companies being able to organize that, but 99% of the time, you can't directly pay for your everyday life expenses in crypto. Not yet. I'm not saying that it won't happen one day, but these companies built all these elaborate financial structures and processes and procedures in the thought that they would never have to touch fiat currency, never have to touch a bank account, right? Because once it touches a bank account, the government wants to know, where's the money coming from? How is the money being produced? Is it in legitimate ways, right? Because the banks have to follow really strict guidelines as to how their investments work, how their bank accounts work, how their KYC works. Do they know the customer? How does their anti-money laundering and terror financing investigations on the accounts for where the money is coming from, how does that work, right? And anything that touches any financial institution has to, in a country, has to answer to that government. They do. When I worked for the banks here downtown Toronto, every day I was sending off reports to two government bodies, FinTract and FinCEN. And one was the US government and one was the Canadian government. And we had to report to both. So there's algorithms that are constantly going and searching for things that are unusual. And the government needs the answers to these questions, because if it doesn't have an answer, then you're automatically unusual. You're automatically doing something that they don't want you to do, because the government needs to know everything you do. Now, if you were capable of running your whole life without touching a fiat system, then they may have gotten away from this longer. They may have. But then the government would probably be able to implement a system that when you went to go and do something that was related to your livelihood in that country, they would be able to figure out how to implement either taxing you through it on, the purchasing side, or some way, somehow. Because if they, let's just put it this way. If you are dealing with something locally, that means that you're dealing with a local company that has to abide by the laws in which it runs. And that's the bottom. It doesn't matter if it uses dollars or it uses freaking Shiba coins. I don't care. It has to comply with the country that the thing is built on. That's it. And I think a lot of these companies got way ahead of themselves thinking that they were living in a digital world when the metaverse, you don't even have legs yet. So you can't even run.
You're just a floating head.
Right? Like you need to calm down. And that's what I really liked when I heard my cousin's story, because the company went out and they headhunted her because she was a big CEO exec of compliance in the actual major banks in Canada. And I was like, yo, that's kind of cool that they're actually looking to be compliant and their focus is to be compliant. That means that I can see longevity with that exchange. But now we're dealing with some of these. Binance is a really, really good example because Binance actually started in Canada, then went worldwide and forgot about Canada. You can't forget about Canada, right? Because he ended up not being compliant and being removed from the country that you started in.
Wow.
They want to grow so quickly and deal with so many countries because we're like, oh, crypto's decentralized. Everybody can come play in the sandbox. But every single country they expand to has to deal with that country's rules and regulations. So companies are expanding way too quickly and not understanding what they're getting themselves involved in.
Yep. Here's another one. European Parliament proposes expanding travel rule to every single crypto transaction.
Okay, I seen this title, but I didn't understand what the hell it was talking about.
Okay. Let me read this so that way you understand a little bit. The current version of the travel rule obliges banks and payment companies to store information that travels between payers and recipients, make it available to authorities for several years. The policy only triggers when a transaction exceeds the threshold of 1,000 euros.
Yes, and in most countries it's similar.
Most countries, it's similar. Some have pointed out that the regulation blueprint resembles the official advice of the Financial Action Task Force, FATF. Here, let me jump onto this one a little bit. So the question here from Thomas Sposs is saying, is the FATF, the fat F, supposed to have such a strong influence on how European policy is shaped? With such legislation, crypto exchanges will have to do even more of what they are doing, keeping records for their customers. This means more paperwork for the crypto companies and another obstacle for new entrepreneurs to overcome. So what they're proposing is to drop these two guys, I can't even pronounce their names, propose to drop the threshold for crypto transactions. It's at 1,000. They want to drop it even less or completely, which would force exchanges and wallet providers to record the travel information. So travel information is like if I'm trying to send next level money. So it's pretty much from me to you. And they're trying to do this for every single transaction. They want to drop this from 1,000 to 0. If you
So
send a penny, we want a transaction of it.
it's very difficult to do. I know that I have an exchange here that requires travel information for anything that's over $1,000. And I tried to make a purchase for over $1,000 in Bitcoin to a crypto mining company. For a couple of the machines, it was over $1,000, and immediately I got a pop up, and it's like, "Who are you sending it to, and what's their address?" And I'm like, "I don't know. It's a company. Like, I don't know what their home address is. I don't even know what name do you want me to put in here, right?" So it's like there's so many growing pains that needs to happen, because so what happens is the government's going to implement this requirement, then the companies are going to have to be compliant, but then the companies and the government don't really understand how the end user are going to use this feature. So it's almost like everybody's like grinding gears at each other, saying, well, I need to use it like this, and I don't know how to use it like that, and can we do it like this? And nobody knows what the hell's going on right now.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't well, from the way it's set up right now with the company I was dealing with, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like it. Like $1,000 though, like you want to drop that to what, $500? So anytime I send $500, you want to know where it's going?
They want to do less. They want to take it away completely.
That's insane. Like when you go to the bank, typically the banks have what's called a UTR, and that's an unusual transaction report that's filed when it's above $9,999. So why does the financial institution and the banks have that requirement, and then crypto has a dollar requirement if you're sending me a dollar?
Not no more.
They
That
changed
rule
it?
has changed.
Has it?
They're changing that rule, I think, to $500 now. If you receive, if I send you $500 here, happy birthday, it gets reported. Now you have to pay taxes on it.
The government's like, yo, we put you in a recession. You're not supposed to have money. Where did you get $500 from?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what's happening right now.
That's what the banks are doing now. The banks are doing, if you get, and I want to say it's like $500 now. If you get that amount of money, it's reportable now.
Listen, as much as I would love to blame the banks are only compliant as to what the government is asking them to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the banks, it's the govs, yo. The govs, the suits. The suits are coming after your bread.
The wigs.
The wigs, the suits and the wigs, yo.
So this is what's going to happen if this actually happens. This is starting in Europe. And we know, like, once we have like a major amount of countries that begin to do something, it's just a matter of time before it wipes everyone else out into it.
Wow.
So European authorities, or the powers to be, or as you call them, suits, wigs, whatever, they're going to be able to obtain the following: name, first name and last, or middle name, whatever, the sender's home address, your physical home address, your passport number, because remember, to identify yourself, you have to show them some kind of identification, driver's license, passport, whatever it is. They're going to be able to get your passport number and the wallet address of both the sender and the receiver. And there's one more part about it. Anything associated to the sender's address or the receiver's wallet address. So if you have like Coinbase, if you have Coinbase, Cash App, I'm going to name the big ones: Coinbase, Cash App, Robinhood. Oh my gosh, those big apps. Whatever you put your name into it, like if you say, hey, I have my first name, last name, my bank account, my address, like if you give them all your information, now they're going to be able to pull that information directly from the app. Second, if you have Genesis, for example, and you have these long freaking codes that you put in, and if you lose it, you freaking lose it, they're going to be able to track IP now. Wherever that address wallet got sent to, wherever that IP address was created, or any kind of transaction history.
It's okay. So yes, it sounds scary.
You have your IP address, they have your physical address if you're at home doing this shit.
So it sounds scary. I want to clarify two things though. One, this doesn't mean that crypto is centralized. cryptocurrency at its core is decentralized. It's the companies that are doing things on top of it that make it sound like it's centralized, right?
They're
So it's
trying.
not crypto that is bad. People are trying to regulate crypto in a centralized way. And because you live in a centralized society, you have to follow the centralized rules. The second thing is, if you are not doing anything that is illegal, then you do not have anything to worry about, because I can tell you right now that whatever you're doing through your bank account, they already know where, who, and what the money is going to and from, and your IP address already. So there's no difference between that. The
Mhm.
bottom line is, yes, it is scary, but in order to be compliant in the society that you're in, you have to comply to the rules and regulations in which the government that you people elected, you people, just saying.
You people.
Rant done.
So here's the last part of this argument on why this is important. Why they're saying we need to. They're justifying the need to remove this 1,000 euro threshold for crypto transactions. Um, their draft argues that small transactions with cryptocurrencies, and I'm quoting this, are often used to fund one of two things: terrorism or laundering money. One of the two things. With a loophole, with this type of loophole, would enable to use the digital assets to fund and hide unlawful activities. And of course, they mark a couple things. Since illicit capital can anonymously move without geographical limitations, with a good chance of remaining undetected. And
Goes
they're
back
sorry, go ahead.
it goes back to what I was saying before. If the government doesn't know what you're like, where your money is coming from and where it's going, they automatically assume that you're a terrorist or you're money laundering. That is the automatic assumption, right? The way that they're treating it now, it's almost like the beginning of wires. When you are wiring funds from one place to another, there is a lot of information that you need to fill out. So they're treating cryptocurrency transactions, no matter the amount, almost to this point, like a wire transaction. And I think that's a really good analogy, right? The same kind of deals with a wire, because wires are very international, right?
Mhm.
International, you can send a wire to any country in the world and then it would land up in their bank account. But sometimes, here's the big difference, right? The government is obviously looking at it as a wire, but cryptocurrency runs a lot faster, a lot smoother, a lot cheaper than a wire does. So there's that.
Yeah. Okay. Here is the next one. This is interesting, and I kind of find it. I think I know why. Kind of curious to hear what your thoughts are. So there's been an analysis since the beginning of this year, 2022, up until now, for the first quarter, first 3 months, Google Trends reveals Google Trends data reveals that no one cares about the metaverse or NFTs.
Okay. Who produced this article?
This came from cointelegraph.com.
I think this writer needs to open their mind a little bit more, because there's some really interesting graphs that have come out lately saying that the adoption of cryptocurrency mirrors the adoption of the internet in 2000, the year 2000. So I think that everybody can agree the adaptation of the internet from 2000 to 2022 has been very exponential. So cryptocurrency is in still the very early phases, and NFTs and the metaverse are very tiny branches inside of that. There is so much room to grow. It's not that people don't care, it's an education factor at this point. right? The internet was different. The internet was taught on a societal level. You went to school, you learned about the internet. We talked about this. We went to school and we learned how to type with 10 fingers when most people today only use two thumbs.
Mhm.
We would purchase programs to teach us how to type the quick brown fox jumped over the whatever the hell it jumped over. Didn't we?
Yeah.
That's not a lie, right? But it was pushed at home. The internet was pushed at home, and the internet was pushed in schools. Now, crypto is pushed solely on the internet. You're not going to have crypto really being pushed in schools. It's not in your face in schools. Like I ask my son all the time about crypto, and he's like, "Well, I don't know anything," right? So it's a different concept. It's not that nobody cares. It's an educational factor. People are trying to figure out why should they care. Why? Why should I? What is Bitcoin and why should I care? Right? A lot of people are still asking that question. The first thing they say when somebody comes to you and they're like, "Oh, you know a little bit about crypto. So what is it?" It's not, "Oh, you know a little bit about crypto. So what is an NFT?" Actually, there is a lot of people asking about NFTs now. So that's
Mhm.
why I'm a little bit like this person needs to open their mind a bit because I get people asking me more about NFTs now than they're asking me about Bitcoin.
Well, I don't think it's about this guy opening up his mind because all he did was he went to Google Ads and searched these two terms. He just put in the word metaverse and then he put in the word NFT. It
But
doesn't
he came
matter.
to his own conclusion though.
Well, mm, no, I wouldn't agree with that. I wouldn't agree with that. If somebody wants to know what an NFT is, how would they search that in Google?
There's still a lot of people who don't know how to do research.
Okay, how would you ask that question if you don't know what NFT is?
I would, well, personally, I know how to research it. So I'm going to
No, I'm
research
not
it. But
asking you to research. How do you ask the question if you don't know what an NFT is?
what is an NFT?
What is an NFT?
Okay.
If I'm asking you as a person, I'm like, like I have no clue. I have no clue. What is the metaverse? That,
But I'm finding a lot more people wanting to ask the question to a real person and not searching it on the internet.
hey Siri, hey
Siri's not
Google,
real, bro.
hey Bixby,
Bigsby.
Alexa. Like, dude, everyone's talking to these devices. And the thing is that Google is grabbing all of that information and looking it up as a global worldwide search term off of it could come directly from Google, it could come from your voice things. And what they're finding out is not a lot of people are asking what is an NFT. What they are asking is what is Bitcoin though? Bitcoin is going crazy. And I think the reason for that is because freaking crypto.com and all the commercials that they're blasting all over the place.
That, and I know that we don't really want to get into all the politics and everything, but there's a lot of donations and things that are being promoted in this time right now
Mhm.
through crypto.
Right. But I think it's, and even before that, when there's like some kind of like disaster reliefs, like you'll see a commercial that says we accept crypto, PayPal, whatever, like we're starting to see it more often. I know with today's situation with what's happening over there across the globe, um, it's again another they're it's more promotion. It's more promotion of what they're doing,
Yes.
and I think um, I do agree with you when you say it's that people are not educated enough and they're within the discovery phase of what is an NFT or what is a metaverse, but they really don't. I would almost agree where they're just like, who cares and who gives a shit about NFT when I have no idea what the hell Bitcoin is. I need to figure out what the hell Bitcoin is first before I dabble into NFT or the metaverse. Now here's a great opportunity though, because people are not searching NFTs or the metaverse. This is a great opportunity for investors who are looking into the right type of markets. Like gaming crypto is huge, and that is barely starting. I would go as far as crypto gaming started last year with forming groups of people like Shill or Project Seed. You know what I mean? I know you were telling me like, hey, have you tried Horizon? you know, I think it's I think when it comes to crypto gaming and how that aspect is going, like, dude, I'm barely messing with the Quest 2. It's opening up a whole world, but not a lot of people are in it already. And I think it's going to open it up for people who are investing in the right time.
I think that there's a lot of interesting pushback in the media that's making people draw mental blocks about how much they care about cryptocurrency, right? When they hear things about here's a prime example. When they hear things about crypto mining, the news will show a news story about the police raiding a place thinking that it's a grow op, but finding out that it's a crypto mining place, but they were illegally stealing energy from the grid.
Mm-hmm.
So then all people understand from that point is crypto mining is illegal. It's bad. No, as long as you pay for your electricity, you can crypto mine, right? But the news has a way of spinning things that makes it bad for people. So when they start to do stories about them busting crypto mining places and them shutting them down, they're not really putting it in a way to really give it an unbiased perspective so that the people can understand. So there's so many stories in the news right now where people are like, Bitcoin is bad, crypto is bad, crypto mining is bad, DeFi is bad, NFTs, rug pull, you're going to lose your money. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the people are scared to research at that point because they don't know when something like XRP is going to be classified as a security and your money's gone. It's locked up. How do you get your money from there? You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So I think that there's a certain level of a scare tactic that's coming from the general media that is stopping people's brains from doing the research that's needed.
Yeah. Well, they're doing it on purpose because it's, let's be honest with a lot of this shit. When it comes to the media, the government's pushing their agenda.
Yeah.
And I've seen people on the news saying crypto is stupid, it's a waste of time. You're throwing your money around to, like, they're just like, you might as well just grab all your hundreds or thousands or whatever of dollars that you put it in the trash can, put some gas and throw a match. That's what you're doing. They're just like, it's a stupid, meaningless thing.
One, I would be like, well, where are you getting the money to buy that gas? Because right now, holy shit.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like there's a lot of people out there that are just very, like, I don't know, I don't know if you want to call them haters or what you want to call them, but it's kind of like, damn, dude, like just because you don't know doesn't make it stupid. It just makes it that you just don't know. There's that saying that there's no such thing as stupid questions. Well, in the military, we say there's no such thing as stupid questions, only stupid people. It's like, if you don't know, then you don't know. It's like, no big deal. Don't make it seem like this is retarded or this is dumb or this is whatever. It's like, no, it's like, you know what? It's something that you don't understand. You might not understand freaking the quantum physics of whatever, but that doesn't make it stupid. That just means you just don't understand. That's it.
I think there's a difference between asking a question realistically and sarcastically.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people that will ask a question sarcastically. They don't care about the answer. They just say it as a sarcasm. And if you want to be ignorant to certain topics and situations, I mean that's on you. But if you want to generally know a question, then you should ask that question until you understand the topic.
Mm-hmm.
Never stop asking why.
Never stop asking why. Yeah. So pretty interesting. Here's the last one. Last one that I got for today. You're interested or you know about the sandbox, right?
Isn't that a crypto?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's a metaverse. The sandbox metaverse hits 2 million users, and they're gonna begin with K-pop partnerships.
Of course they are.
Of course they are. So right now there are 200 quests in which players can complete to earn a chance of getting an Alpha Pass NFT, which will reward the owners up to 1,000 sand, worth roughly around $3,000. The Sandbox Metaverse game, if you guys don't know, it's a NFT. It's a non-fungible token investment. And it's an investment with giant Animoca brands, which I've never heard of. But they're in season 2 alpha right now. Season 2 alpha already. The crypto game backed by NFTs and its native sand token has been in the works for roughly 4 years. And the latest preview in the game comes just a couple of months after its long-awaited season 1, a couple months ago. Season 2 officially went live. It went live officially. I'll give you a date. March 3rd of 2022. March 3rd. And any user is able to freely explore 35 different virtual experience. Check this one out, including a sneak peek of the Snoopverse in partnership with the popular rapper, of course, Snoop Dogg. Can I go on my Oculus to see this?
That's what I think Horizons is, isn't it?
I don't know.
I mean, I haven't tried it. I just thought. Anyways, so, when people start hearing about the metaverse or NFTs or whatever it is, when they see, digital land being sold and stuff like that, and they're like, well, why? And I think that they need to go back a few years and really think about people have been spending money to purchase things in games and online for years without the actual right of ownership. Mm-hmm. Zero. Like, there's people that spend $20, $30, $100, $200, thousands of dollars a month on both mobile gaming and console gaming for in-game items that they don't actually own. So to understand why there's money when it comes to cryptocurrency, NFTs, and digital property and assets, then it was only the natural evolution of being able to purchase something in a virtual place and actually own it. How much, I'm not even going to try to fathom how many thousands of dollars that I've lost in the last 10 years by purchasing through a digital platform for a digital verse of some sort that I never had the ownership for.
Yep.
So as silly as it sounds, it kind of makes sense to me. Like, you imagine if I could go into Call of Duty and buy, I don't know, or even create a skin that looks like me, and then I end up becoming a YouTuber with a big following and I mint it, and then I sell it. Mm-hmm. And then everybody buys a costume that I created. People are doing this shit already in Roblox. They're creating items. They're creating all kinds of this shit. And you have little kids that are doing this. Mm-hmm. But it's all about supply and demand. If you supply something and there's a demand for it, it has value. They're just putting a dollar amount to a value. If it didn't have value, nobody would be buying it. And that's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what the hell we throw online. If I throw online that I'm going to sell you the Mona Lisa digitally and I drew it with like a stick pencil and it like looked like garbage, but there was no value to it, no one's going to buy it. There could be value in different ways. No matter how trashy the art is, value can come in so many different ways. It could be the artist. It could be, something. It just, as long as people find value, they're going to spend money on it.
Yeah.
What was it? There was a Pokemon card that was sold recently for like over, I think, $1 million or $2 million.
It's like, what the hell?
One card.
Mm. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. It's been a hell of a lot of info. Yeah, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys are following us. Leave us a comment below. What do you guys think? What was your favorite article? What was your favorite topic on this one? Would love to hear from you guys, and always interested on what it is that you guys like. I know we've been getting some messages saying we want more crypto, so we're gonna give you guys some more cryptos. Um, yeah, we always appreciate you guys when you guys do come over. So next, anything you got to say before we get the hell out of here?
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Beyond the Streams. Make sure wherever you're listening to us on the audio side that you leave us a review so other people like yourself can find the content that you enjoy. If you are looking to be a part of the conversation, be a part of the community, make sure you come over on the YouTube side on the Beyond the Streams YouTube channel where you can interact with us live every Thursday around 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are also looking to get little bite-sized clips of what we do over here, there is the BS Clips channel, which gives you short little 5-minute clips of different episodes that you possibly missed, episodes that you could have other content creators on there, as well as other people from companies that you're either already using their products and services, or you should probably be checking them out. So make sure you have that notification bell turned on, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.